You're watching From the Heart with John Willard.
Hi friends, John Willard here, the gentleman poet and NACA contributor, back for another show and more bone-chilling truth. Courage. Courage is the finest of human qualities because it guarantees all the others. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Nagi always had those nightmares, not dreams like most people have, but nightmares. Usually in those nightmares was that old white farmhouse. And most often in those nightmares was the porch where the fights, curses, hugs, and beatings and prayers took place. On the porch hung a large leather strap, a barber strap like the old-time barbers sharpened their razors on. Having been beaten with that strap so many times, to the point of unconsciousness, that strap and that porch, of all the interesting things of that old farmhouse, the coal stove, the kitchen where Nagi's mom made the strawberry shortcake, made with broken up pie crust, the second floor bedrooms where Nagi heard the rats running inside the walls at night, the old cistern and the water truck that would come and fill the cistern, and the old pump that would send the water from the cistern to the kitchen, where Nagi's mom got a finger cut off, priming the pump that froze up every winter. And the places on the outside where the goats ate the siding, and all those things that occurred there, they still lingered in Nagi's memory. But the porch and the leather barber strap surfaced in Nagi's nightmares. Nagi remembered the porch paint worn off, but it was built to last forever, and maybe a little beyond. That porch was the soul of the house. You knew at those porch steps if you were gonna be welcomed or not. Those welcome usually got strawberry shortcake, roasted ears, nowadays referred to as corn on the cob, and the best meatloaf in the world, or to Nagi it was. And those not welcome, wow. That was usually limited to Nagi's mother's relatives and salesmen. They were met on that porch with a wrath, words I refused to use. The porch was always cool, as if summer's heat somehow missed it. A cool oasis. No electric light to draw bugs or add to the heat. Porches were for talking, churning butter, and uncles telling lies. Don't need any light for that. And if the line got out of hand, the darker the better. Naki loved listening to those stories about the hard times. I don't see porches anymore. For a while, they stopped building them. After air conditioning and television, I see people on patios, but it's just not the same. Even among despair, hope makes today possible and tomorrow attractive. It was a rough and tumble life for Nagi. So here we have a poem that I like, which reminds me of Nagi and hope. Never go gloomy, man with a mind. Hope is a better companion than fear. Providence ever benignant and kind. Gives with a smile what you take with a tear. All will be right. Look to the light. Morning was ever the daughter of night. All that was black will be all that is bright. Many a foe is a friend in disguise. Many a trouble a blessing most true. Helping the heart to be happy and wise. With love ever precious and joys ever new. I love that. Nagi could sometimes smell the homemade bread as soon as he got off the school bus. Maybe those days are gone, but not the memories. The South, like ticks and chiggers, is everlasting. It always will be, but not like I remember. Quilts like my grandmother Nellie made for warmth instead of money are a thing of antiquity. Young men can play video games all day long, but never spend hours in the creek catching crawdads like I did. If things keep getting better all the time, how come so many people remember the good old days? I listen for the past, but I can't hear it. I see much has faded away. Friends, do you see the admirable traits, the mission, purpose, and vision that Naka and Nagi have in common? Courage, buoyancy, the ability to recover from adversity. Let me share this quote with you from J.C. Watts. We can be marked from the past, or we can make a mark on the future. Although marked from the past, Nagi and Naka are determined to make a mark on the future. They are passionate. Nagi had heroes. It seemed like it was an absolute necessity to survive the beatings, cursing, despair, poverty, and his mom was one of his heroes. When others would walk past an injured dog and they'd say, "Oh, isn't that sad?" and just keep on walking. But when Nagi heard of it, he went there. He retrieved the dog, nursed it back to health, found it a good home, and he did this many times. He remembered his mom's courage. When Nagi saw 3 men in a warehouse throwing a cat high up into the air, Nagi walked over, not with the bullying ways of his dad, but with the courage his mom taught him. Noggy was farm boy tough, and his love for animals was all he needed. In a calm but firm voice, Noggy said, "The next man that throws that cat in the air will have to whip me." Ashamed, they went back to work and left the cat alone. Oh, Noggy remembers his mom telling him about her first job at a diner, a job she needed, and a black soldier came in and sat at the counter. And the manager at the diner told her she couldn't serve him, and how she took her apron off. And she told the manager, "I will not refuse to serve him. He deserves the same respect as all others." Noggy always believed that he took after her. She was his anchor in the storm. To last, to endure, to push against all odds. Noggy did. Noggy said the one place that he lacked courage. She had been gone 12 years, and he still couldn't go to the cemetery, not even on Memorial Day. I see a tear in when her name is mentioned, and he quickly says something funny, trying to recover. Friends, I saw how Noggy's life turned around, and I realized life often has surprise parties for us. Things come masked in gloom and black, but time, the revealer, strips off the disguise, and lo, what we have are blessings. Remember, Lincoln lost the senatorship to Douglas and thought he had ended his career. Had he won the contest, he might have remained only a senator. Let me read an excerpt from this poem by an anonymous author, thinking about how Noggy's courage inspired me. Let me share. Courage was never designed for show. It isn't a thing that can come and go. Courage is more than a daring deed. It's the breath of life and a strong man's creed. Friends, remember one of George Washington Carver's quotes, "Be compassionate with the aged." When you see Naka at work, we will all someday be the ones George Washington Carver was referring to. We should see the importance now, because I'm sure we will later. Friends, I'm out of time. Remember, Noggy always said, when you're good to others, you are best to yourself. You can reach me at jwillard@nakacna.org. And if you want me to come to your event, well, I still have my dogs, and you know how that is. Remember, it's not what we gain, but what we give that measures the worth of the life we live. Until next time, friends.